In the glittering world of Hollywood in the 1950s, two major stars, Humphrey Bogart and William Holden, together created legendary films. But few know that behind the spotlights, a shocking accusation erupted. Bogart believed Holden was trying to kill him. What's even more astonishing is that no one believed his words. What truly happened between these two icons, and why was such a serious accusation dismissed as mere delusion? Humphrey Bogart's stellar career. Humphrey Bogart was more than just an actor. He was a cinematic icon who shaped the very concept of the complex, often anti-heroic protagonist. His career began quite modestly before exploding into legend. Bogart started on Broadway, then moved to Hollywood in the early 1930s. Initially, he was often cast in supporting villain or gangster roles, thanks to his angular face and piercing gaze. It wasn't until 1936, with his role as Duke Mentee in the film adaptation of the stage play The Petrified Forest, that his career truly took off. This role helped him break free from minor supporting parts and showcased his powerful acting potential. The 1940s saw Bogart rise to the pinnacle of his profession. He defined the image of the cynical, tough, and often nonchalant man who, deep down, possessed principles and a heart. Classic films followed one after another, solidifying his status. There was his role as private detective Sam Spade in The Maltese Falcon, 1941, a quintessential performance for the film noir genre, and Rick Blaine in Casablanca, 1942, Bogart's most iconic role, transforming the character into an immortal figure of tragic romance and ideals. He continued to shine as Detective Philip Marlowe in The Big Sleep, 1946, once again affirming his acting prowess in film noir and forming a formidable on-screen duo with Lauren Bacall. Notably, his portrayal of crusty old riverboat Captain Charlie, all nut in the adventure film The African Queen, 1951, not only allowed Bogart to display a different facet of his talent, but also earned him the only Academy Award for Best Actor of his career. Bogart is widely considered one of the greatest actors in American cinema history. He left behind a legacy of iconic roles, shaping the style and demeanor for many generations of actors who followed. Even after his passing, his image and famous lines continue to resonate, proving his timeless influence. William Holden's notable career. William Holden, with his handsome looks and versatile acting talent, became one of Hollywood's leading male stars in the 1950s. Unlike Bogart, Holden's early career focused on portraying idealistic young men before he transitioned into a more profound actor. Holden began his career in the late 1930s and quickly gained attention with his breakthrough role in the film Golden Boy, 1939, where he played an ambitious young boxer. This role helped him establish himself as a promising young actor capable of portraying both innocence and complex inner turmoil. The 1950s saw Holden reach the peak of his fame. He became known for his ability to embody deep characters, from strong heroes to pitiable failures, always carrying a distinctive charm. Key films during this period include Sunset Boulevard, 1950, where he played Joe Gillies, a young screenwriter caught in the tragedy of a faded movie star. Holden hauntingly depicted despair and moral decay in that role. Following that, his portrayal of the cynical but cunning prisoner of war, Sefton, in Stalag 17, 1953, earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor, affirming Holden's talent at a new level. He also starred alongside Humphrey Bogart and Audrey Hepburn in Sabrina, 1954, showing a clear contrast to Bogart's character and forming a complex love triangle. Finally, as Shears, a pragmatic American officer in the epic war film The Bridge on the River Kwai, 1957, Holden continued to demonstrate his flexible acting ability. William Holden built a charismatic star image, not just because of his looks, but also due to his ability to portray characters with deep inner lives, making him one of the most beloved and respected figures of his era. The relationship between Bogart and Holden. The illustrious careers of Humphrey Bogart and William Holden brought them together in Billy Wilder's romantic comedy Sabrina, 1954. This should have been a smooth project with a talented cast, but from the beginning, Bogart showed little enthusiasm for co-starring with Holden. This reluctance didn't just stem from the clear differences in their personalities and working styles, but also harbored underlying tensions. On the set of Sabrina, the atmosphere between Bogart and Holden was often tense. Bogart, known for his difficult personality, frequent drinking, and tendency to quarrel, seemed to feel threatened by Holden's rising star. Conversely, Holden, at the peak of his career with his handsome looks and recognized talent, might have carried a touch of self-satisfaction, but generally maintained a professional demeanor. An unspoken rivalry over acting performance and screen appeal was perhaps inevitable. There were even rumors about a complicated off-screen relationship between Holden and lead actress Audrey Hepburn, which, though unconfirmed, was enough to further ignite the tension between the two male stars. Personal factors also played a significant role in deepening this rift. Bogart's health at the time was already beginning to decline. He was later diagnosed with cancer. This health condition could have significantly affected his state of mind and sobriety. Additionally, Bogart's increased alcohol consumption, a habit already associated with his image, could now lead to paranoid thoughts or erratic behavior, setting the stage for the strange accusations to come. When it comes to Hollywood legends, the animosity between the notoriously difficult leading man Humphrey Bogart and box office star William Holden is no secret. Though there were years of public tension, the truth behind their feud wasn't revealed until 1972, when Holden, by then an Academy Award winner, appeared on The Dick Cavett Show. After telling Cavett some wonderful stories about Hollywood classics, the interview's topic shifted to Holden's working relationship with Bogart. There was a rumor in the industry that Humphrey Bogart and you had a fistfight once, Cavett said, asking if it was true. Surprisingly, Holden jumped straight into a story about Bogart from over 30 years prior, concerning a stunt that went wrong on the set of the 1939 gangster film Invisible Stripes. "I think I almost killed him," Holden admitted, nonchalantly enough to get a laugh from the audience, "but it was accidental." In the Warner Brothers film, Bogart played an ex-con and the leader of a crime syndicate, while Holden was the younger brother of a recently released convict tempted back into a life of crime. Holden explained that he had to drive a motorcycle with a sidecar in the film, and it had a wobble in the front wheel. The actor said he had experience riding motorcycles at the time, but the film's vehicle was simply a bad machine. The story goes like this, according to Holden. Bogart apparently took this as conclusive proof that Holden wanted to kill him, and Holden said he responded, "I have to hit a brick wall. Do you think I'm immune to bricks, and you're going to get away with it?" Holden seemed amused telling the story in 1972, treating the anecdote as a humorous tale rather than a potentially terrifying stunt that went awry. Despite his insistence that Holden was trying to kill him, this incident wasn't enough to prevent Bogart from collaborating with the actor again 15 years after Invisible Stripes. The pair reportedly clashed once more while working together on the 1954 film Sabrina, where they played brothers both vying for the attention of the lead character portrayed by Audrey Hepburn. In the book Audrey and Bill, author Edward Z. Epstein explains that Bogart was annoyed by Holden and Hepburn's relationship, at one point instigating a physical altercation with Holden that ended with crew members pulling the two apart. According to Epstein, the trouble arose when Bogart accused Holden of drinking too much at lunchtime, saying, "I think that fellas had too much grape." The atmosphere on the Sabrina set sounds like a nightmare, with Bogart reportedly complaining about Holden's cigarette smoke, mocking his dyed hair, and nicknaming him Smiling Jim. Besides his male co-star, Bogart was reportedly not fond of director Billy Wilder and Hepburn, who was still new to Hollywood at the time but had already won acclaim for Roman Holiday. According to Audrey and Bill, Bogart invited several actors and crew members to his dressing room for a nightcap after the first day of filming, but deliberately excluded Hepburn, Wilder, and Holden. The trio had their own celebratory drinks, and Bogart soon dubbed them the Paramount Bastards. Bogart's feuds died with him in 1957. Other points of conflict noted by Epstein included a rewritten scene and a fight, likely one-sided, over close-up shots. As biographers recount it, Bogart seemed to be the paranoid instigator in most of these clashes, and at one point on the Sabrina set, he reportedly even yelled, "I want this sabotage to stop." In Barry Paris's 1996 biography, Audrey Hepburn, sources also claimed that Bogart believed Hepburn was conspiring with Holden against him because his two co-stars were dating at the time. If the late great actor seemed overly protective of his time and attention during the filming of Sabrina, it might have been partly because he felt his time and attention were running out. By the following year, Bogart's health began to decline, and he passed away in 1957 after enduring a painful battle with metastatic esophageal cancer, according to biographers Anne Sperber and Eric Lax, authors of Bogart. At his funeral, filmmaker John Huston commented on Bogart's love for sparring verbally with those in Hollywood circles, concluding that his criticisms were created only to cling to the outer layer of complacency, not to penetrate the spiritual regions where real injury occurs. Ultimately, while Bogart's accusation might seem outlandish, it remains a curious part of Hollywood history, a reminder that behind the on-screen glamour and charm lie stories of human frailty, complexity, and personal tragedies that sometimes no one can truly understand or believe. Was there a kernel of truth hidden in Bogart's fear, or was it purely the product of a declining mind? That question remains open, adding another layer to the legend of these two great stars.